Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington and for the global special interest, they partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. The political establishment that is trying to stop us is the same group responsible for our disastrous trade deals, massive illegal immigration, and economic and foreign policies that have bled our country dry. The political establishment has brought about the destruction of our factories and our jobs as they flee to Mexico, China, and other countries all around the world. It's a global power structure that is responsible for the economic decisions that have robbed our working class, stripped our country of its wealth, and put that money into the pockets of a handful of large corporations and political entities. The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. I'm doing this for the people and for the movement, and we will take back this country for you, and we will make America great again. I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katrina Pearson, National Campaign Spokesperson for the Donald J. Trump for President campaign. And right now, I am joined with the infamous Omarosa from The Apprentice, as well as Madison, Miss Ohio, USA.
Why do you have two Ohio girls? That's what we want to know.
Because Ohio is extremely important tonight. So if you have not voted, make sure you vote before the polls close. Now, you are two ladies who have worked with Mr. Trump. Omarosa on The Apprentice, and you're a part of the Miss USA. Tell us about Miss USA.
Amazing experience. Mr. Trump was an incredible gentleman at Miss USA, and since Miss USA, he's been a mentor to me, and he's an incredible man, and I'm so proud to have voted for him this morning in Ohio.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your support, and thank you for being so vocal. It's been really important for women and young women to talk about their experiences with Mr. Trump, and that brings me to you, Omarosa. We learned this early on. And when Laura Trump decided to put together our women's tour, we started something that really took on a life of its own. So tell everyone about that.
Well, I am just so honored to serve as a senior advisor to Mr. Trump on African American engagement, but I was also very honored to be asked to join you all on the women's tour. We had Lynn Patton, who is a vice president for the organization. We had, of course, the lovely Katrina here. She is our spokeswoman. We had Laura Trump. We also had Diamond and Silk, who are just hilarious. And we got to travel around and talk to different people throughout the state of Ohio. And I have to tell you, we went to Maple Farms, which is the apple farm outside of Cleveland.
Oh, it's beautiful. Love it. Beautiful
My
place.
favorite stop. But it wasn't just about, campaigning. It was about connecting with people in the heartland. And they say that Ohio is the heart of it all.
Absolutely.
And I felt that as we were going place to place. But I have to tell you, Mr. Trump cares about the entire country. He wasn't just focusing on battleground. He went to places where they're like, why is he going there? It's because he wanted to connect with all Americans. So it's been a great ride, Katrina.
It really has, and you're absolutely right. Mr. Trump, he would be campaigning in California right now if the campaign would let him, because he really, truly does love this country. He loves the people of this country, and he wants to be everywhere, which is exactly why he's been in 4 and 5 different states over the last couple of days. And Madison, tell us a little bit about what you've seen throughout this process and why you became vocal to begin with.
Yeah, so one of the things I want to mention is that on Sunday I flew home to Ohio and originally was planning to vote early. 6-hour wait lines, incredible turnout, and a lot of excitement for Mr. Trump, which is something I did not see in 2012 in Ohio during early voting. So that was very exciting. But when it comes to why I became vocal, number one, I'm a conservative. Number two, I care about my country. I have ancestors that immigrated here from Italy, and they really came here for the American dream, and I see that dying before my own eyes. And I want in the future, when I have children, for them to be able to live out the American dream, like my grandparents and my parents did. And I think Mr. Trump is someone who cares about all Americans. He doesn't just care for the people that are voting for him today. He wants to be everybody's president. He wants to make America great again, and I think he wants us all to rise together.
And you're young.
Yes, honey, you just turned
You're a
24 this
millennial.
year.
You're a millennial.
Quintessential millennial.
Black woman. We're not supposed to exist, right, Mr. Trump? And we are all hardcore supporters of the man. We put our names and our livelihoods on the line for this
Amen.
man because we believe in him. He believes in us, obviously. He's been very appreciative of all the work that we've all done for him in helping him get his vision out to America of how he wants to make America great again. This has been a campaign that's been completely outside the realm of politics, if
Absolutely.
you will. And what we've called it on the trail is a movement, because it truly is a movement. And in Omarosa, we were in North Carolina a few times, and I got to tell you, I was shocked myself going into a grocery store, and the clerks would literally walk away from their customers, check out, just to come over
see us.
and meet us and talk to us and tell us how much they're praying for Mr. Trump and his family, and how important it was. This election is so important for the country because we are really at a crossroads here.
But and
We
also in
stand a
North
chance of
Carolina.
we stand a chance of institutionalizing global corruption, for crying out loud. And so many people, whether they know it physically or not, intrinsically they know something's wrong, and Mr. Trump can fix it. Go ahead.
One of the things I need to just mention, because I think it's so important, was when Mr. Trump gave us a check and said, go help the people of North Carolina who
Oh,
were
yes.
affected by the hurricane. And so what we did on our women's tour was we went to different counties that were devastated by the hurricane. And I have to tell you, going into that shelter with the kids, and we were giving out the hula hoops and the toys, but more
I
importantly,
can't.
the
I'll start
food.
crying again.
I mean, it's bigger than just an election. It's about helping people who need the help the most and being a voice for the folks who don't feel like they're being heard. And that's what Mr. Trump's about. And he didn't care about us politicking. He wanted us to go help the people. And that's what Donald Trump is going to do when elected President of the United States.
And you know, a real tragedy from that point of time after the hurricane, the media was solely focused on trying to demonize Mr. Trump as people were dying in North Carolina. And that's when he said, you know what, go get them, go help them, give them whatever they need. And we delivered water, food, groceries.
We were spending money on supplies, and
Pampers.
she was spending money on, our opponent was spending
On
money
herself.
on the Weather Channel.
The Weather
Remember that?
Channel, that's right.
During the hurricane to try to exploit the crisis. But at any rate, Mr. Trump, I believe, is the best candidate for women, for family, for conservatives, for Christians.
Absolutely.
Veterans like myself. But I think it's also very important that we vote our conscience, and as women, we know exactly who we're voting for, and that's Donald Trump.
And I think when we go back to the issue of women, I mean, this is what women empowerment is.
Absolutely.
Hillary Clinton wants people and expects people, especially women, to vote for her based on her gender alone. And we aren't fooled. And I think we're sending a really strong message to politicians and to the corrupt people in Washington saying, you know, we know better and we're not going to let this slide
Well,
again.
because we vote with our brains, not our ovaries.
Well, yeah, absolutely. A lot of us do. And to Madison's point, you're right. I mean, we have met so many young women along the campaign trail who aren't buying what Hillary Clinton is selling. And it's so important that people understand that not only are black people supporting Mr. Trump, but there are women who are out there supporting Mr. Trump because they're not really looking at vernacular. They're not looking at, you know, a personality style. They're looking at who is going to stop ISIS? Who's going to secure the border? Who's going to bring back jobs in the economy? Who's going to make America great? Obviously, more of Barack Obama's legacy, if you want to call it that, is really not the answer. We're going to have a Trump administration come
But
January.
let me point out something. He has female advisors, and yesterday, in his one of the last rallies before the election, he stopped. He wanted to know, what do you think? How's it going? What should we doing? What should we be doing? He talked to us because he cares. He
Yeah,
has
he
women
really
in leadership
does.
positions because he cares and he values that.
And-
And our phones are ringing. I think that's time. I think we should
We're
wrap
going to
up,
take
you guys.
callers now.
We're going to say goodbye because we love you guys. But
Make
we're
sure you
also
vote.
Thank you guys. Get out
Donald
and vote.
Trump.
excited.
Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington, and for the global special interest They partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. The political establishment that is trying to stop us is the same group responsible for our disastrous trade deals, massive illegal immigration, and economic and foreign policies that have bled our country dry. The political establishment has brought about the destruction of our factories and our jobs as they flee to Mexico, China, and other countries all around the world. It's a global power structure that is responsible for the economic decisions that have robbed our working class, stripped our country of its wealth, and put that money into the pockets of a handful of large corporations and political entities. The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. I'm doing this for the people and for the movement, and we will take back this country for you, and we will make America great again.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.